What's up, y'all? Goofy Rexy here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to the weekly headliner update, week number 71. Now, if you're new to the weekly headliner, this is where we discuss what is upcoming this week in Marvel Strike Force, and then we recap the important topics from the previous week as well. Now, we got lots of stuff to talk about here on the headliner update. We have Wong's Costume Event that's going to be starting this week, so we're going to go over some numbers really quickly in regards to that. We have Cosmic Crucible that happened this past weekend. There were some good things. I enjoyed the event overall, but there's a lot of blunders as well. We'll talk about that in this video. We got some Echo and some Kate Bishop shards that are going to be coming as well. Rogue, we got an announcement for her. She's going to be a legendary horseman for the new Cosmic Crucible team, the Unlimited X-Men team. We're going to talk about her impact on the game and some areas where potentially you might be able to use her. And then want to ask kind of this question as well. This past blog post, was it probably the best blog post ever? Maybe. We're going to talk about this, guys, and so much more on the weekly headliner update. And we're going to start right now. All right, y'all, welcome back. And like I said, we got a lot of stuff to talk about here on the weekly headliner update. The first thing I wanted to dive into is this event that's going to be for Wong's Costume, which is the Chosen One event. Now, this event is going to have two separate milestones that are there. There's going to be an Asian Arts milestone, and then there's going to be a Chosen One milestone that we're going to be able to go through as well. Some pretty good stuff. There's obviously some good resources, some gear that's going to be there as well. The Chosen One milestone, you're going to be able to get these Supreme Phantasm orbs, and those Phantasm orbs are going to give you some Darkhold character shards. Hopefully we won't be getting too much Scarlet Witch shards, but we can get some other shards as well, like Wong, which, by the way, throughout the Chosen One milestone, you're also going to be able to get some Wong shards just through the milestones themselves. And then, of course, what I'm really hoping, right, so we can get some Agatha shards. I know for a fact a lot of us are looking for some Agatha shards, right? And then also, of course, some Doctor Strange Heartless shards will be nice as well. But let's go through this really quickly. They actually gave us a breakdown of one of the milestones, which is the Asian Arts milestone. So the way that they broke it down, right, so there's going to be, if you do arena, there's going to be 300 points that you're going to be able to get here from doing each arena battle. And then they broke it down. They give us the points that you're going to get for doing a blitz or winning one blitz, which would be 65 points. In total, there are 30 milestones that are here. 58,000 points is what you need in order to be able to complete the entirety of the milestone. And so the breakdown was that you need about 105 or so blitz wins per day. So if you're looking at 39 teams times 80% if you're saying you're winning those matchups 80% of the time, you're looking at about 3.5 to maybe 4 rotations a day in order to be able to get through this event, which I think is very good and very doable for rosters that are a little bit bigger, right? Obviously, if you're someone that's a little bit earlier on, you can only go 25 teams, then you'll need to do a little bit more in order to be able to complete the milestones. But pretty good. First and foremost, it's good that they even gave us a number and point breakdown, because this is not something that they usually do. So it's actually good that they were able to do that. And you can see here, you'll get the Phantasm orbs, you'll get the yellow face bits, which you'll need to get the Wong costume. You'll get some training modules, some promo credits, some Elite 5 credits, and of course the gear that's there. And then the second milestone, which is a Chosen One milestone, as you can see, now that you've got the Supreme Phantasm orbs, it's time to open them. The orbs contain gold, gear, shards for Darkhold, as well as some top tier characters. So there's going to be some other characters that are there as well. Opening the orbs will also score you progress towards the Chosen One milestone, which rewards A-Force emblems. So we definitely need that for the A-Force of Nature event, Wong character shards, and then those silver promotion credits. So could be a relatively easy event there. I'm at least hoping that it's going to be that. You will need to at least get to milestone 30 based on this chart here in order to be able to get the 25,000 yellow phase bits. So you're definitely going to need to be able to complete this entire, at least the Asian Arts milestone, so that you can then, of course, go and land and get that Wong costume if that's what you desire. So pretty good stuff there in my personal opinion. We don't have the breakdown yet for the Chosen One milestone, but I'm assuming that if you're able to complete the Asian Arts milestone, that you most likely will be able to get through the Chosen One milestone as well. But I want to talk about some other things that's going on right now. So obviously we had Cosmic Crucible this past weekend, and with Cosmic Crucible, personally, I thought this was a fairly good sort of event, and I liked what we were able to do here, being able to kind of put my teams up against some other teams. We found that the Wakandans are definitely a formidable team when it comes to Cosmic Crucible. I didn't get as many wins on this trial, so we were able to do 3 trials, right? Didn't get as much wins on this one. They were actually able to walk through with this Weapon X team with Ultron. They almost lost Silver Samurai and Ultron, so I guess I'll say that as a win, but this team is not very high powered. And I saw some pictures of players who had Gear Tier 12 Wakandans, and they were able to, and maybe like Shuri, who was built up to like G15, and they were able to get through. They were able to kind of pull like some big teams. Like I saw one where there was a 900k Eternals team that went up against a 400k Wakandan team, and it took that in order to be able to beat them, and they still lost a couple characters or so. So honestly, Wakandans are very good in Cosmic Crucible, and I've largely enjoyed actually playing Cosmic Crucible. Like the actual play of Cosmic Crucible has been fun for me, but it has not been fun for everyone. There's been some bugs here, anomaly detected. There have been some soft lock issues. So there definitely have been some problems with Cosmic Crucible. And of course, the biggest one that's out there right now, this big, massive bug that's really unfortunate. So I took a picture here of my matchup, my Trial 2 matchup, where you can see clearly I got less points than the player that I went against, but they lost, right? Like I got the win, and honestly, that's not fair. And I have a ton of pictures, you know, in Discord, direct messages of players who have had these same issues, right? Of, okay, I went into a matchup, I won this matchup, I had more points, but it ended up losing the trial matchup, which is just unfortunate. And to me, what I think is more frustrating is that there's no one. This stuff has been shared, right? And there's no one around to fix any of this or to tackle any of these issues, which then brings the problem of why do they continue to release events like this when there's going to be a weekend, right? You would ideally like for them to release this on a Monday or a Tuesday so that we can kind of work through the kinks a little bit, and if there are issues that they can go ahead and fix it. But right now, there's still no messaging on it. At the current moment, I'm assuming that they'll see it today and they'll be able to go ahead and fix it, or at least issue a statement, which is sometimes questionable, right? Because the things are happening and we'll report them, but then there's not enough of a response in an appropriate time that we would like to see it. So therefore that brings on some frustration, and I get it. People don't want to work on the weekends. Everybody should take some time off, but then just don't release events like this when there's going to be a weekend, so that there's not going to be any frustration for the player and the player base. So those are sort of like my thoughts. I've enjoyed this Cosmic Crucible. I really have. I'm looking forward to doing some more matchups with Cosmic Crucible, but this obviously should not happen. I also do want to say that getting some of these resources has definitely helped out where it comes to teal gear. So if I jump into my store right now, you'll probably see that where I'm really hurting right now is I want to be able to start Cosmic at some point in time in Dark Dimension, but what's preventing me from being able to do that is that I have a couple characters like Kestrel, also Cersei, where I'm just kind of short on some of these resources. So being able to have these Cosmic Crucible credits has actually helped out quite a bit to be able to kind of get some lattice. I think I've gotten maybe like 6 pieces of this right here. It's actually definitely been helpful for my roster. So I'm kind of holding off on the Osmium, although I know Gambit has it, or Gambit will need it. I'm kind of holding off on that right now because I really want to allocate my Cosmic Crucible credits to getting these mini uniques for Dark Dimension 5, because that's really kind of where I'm hurting right now. And stuff like this, I can probably get lucky with maybe an Elite Raid orb or something like that. So therefore, I'm kind of holding off on anything that's not teal gear in the Cosmic Crucible store. So curious to see what you guys are doing with it. What are your thoughts on Cosmic Crucible? Are you enjoying the game mode? Are you also probably frustrated with the fact that they're doing these weekend releases? The playtest worked fine, but definitely they made some minor changes, but this is definitely has not been as favorable as we probably would have desired for it to be. But let's transition here, talk about some other things. So we have a couple blitzes this week. Obviously right now we have the Moon Knight blitz that's currently active, and of course there was a little bit of a bug with that too. So if you started doing your blitz right when the reset happened last night or yesterday, then you realize that if you lost the matchup, that you were actually getting some A-Force emblems. So I wasn't a beneficiary of that because I didn't log in at that time when it reset to do anything. So, but I did get some reports here from my Discord, and then of course I saw in the Envoy chat that there were some reports here of people who are getting A-Force emblems from losing Blitz matchups, which once again it's another thing where I don't even know how that happens, right? Like realistically, how does that even happen? Because you have to kind of program it to do that. You're only supposed to be able to, I don't know. It's just weird how it happens. I don't really understand it, but there is going to be another Rumble Blitz that's going to be this week, and that Blitz is going to feature Wakandans, or you're going to get the extra points by using Wakandans this time around. The last Rumble Blitz for military, they actually made an update where you were able to get your gold. So previously remember the Hydra Rumble Blitz, you weren't able to get any gold from doing that Rumble Blitz. So this the second time around when they did the Rumble Blitz for military, we were able to actually get some gold from that. So I'm assuming that's going to continue to move forward with Wakandans. We also will have another Rumble Blitz again next week on Thursday. So curious to see what that looks like. But that's just sort of some information that's going on this week. All right, so the next thing I wanted to talk about here was the Victory Blueprint milestone. This is going to be ending on Wednesday night here. And the genuine consensus of this event is that it's not been one that we've enjoyed at all. Wow, I think a lot of us were probably potentially looking forward to being able to get some of the resources that they're going to feature here, right? So the T2 ISO level 4 ions. I know that players are looking forward to maybe being able to bring up one or two characters, which we were able to do. So for me personally, with the T2 ISO level 4 ions, I was able to bring up my Morgan Le Fay to T2 ISO level 4, mainly because, of course, I really want that higher resistance on her. I also really wanted the higher focus and the higher health as well to help me to be able to survive some of these matchups, right? And the focus is incredibly important because I want to be able to land an ability block on the other Morgan Le Fay. So that was the character that I chose to go with. I think a lot of us were also just really pushing to being able to get to the Jessica Jones jacket, because that jacket is going to be 8,000 points. It's going to contribute right to the A-Force of Nature milestone. So therefore, that's kind of what we were pushing for. But I have heard that this event has not been as fun none of it is fun, but it has not been as rewarding for some players who are not in, let's say, certain war zones, right? Or just maybe if you're not in a Plat 2 alliance, if you're doing Plat 1, then you're not earning as much war credits. If you're not, if you didn't hoard, because there was a workaround, so you get points by earning war credits, right? And there was sort of a workaround in the store where if you could spend your start tech and then you could buy these war credits that are right here. And that's honestly one of the ways that I was able to get sort of as high as I am right now in the milestones, is that I had a lot of these available, right? Like 2,000, I've had enough to be able to buy this probably maybe 6 times or so, right? Like I had enough credits to be able to do so. So that helped me to sort of contribute to the milestones that we're currently doing right now for Victory Blueprint. So if you didn't hoard, which they kind of said they've kind of made a statement before that they kind of don't really want us to hoard resources, not directly, but it was implied, right? They didn't want us to hoard any sort of resources anymore. But then you kind of create an event that rewards hoarding, right? Like, because I know a lot of players probably were spending it on buying Elite 4 credits, because that would make sense. Like, that's something that I would definitely do. I just kind of got backed up with a bunch of them and got lucky, right? Like, I really wasn't like hoarding it on purpose. I just got lucky hoarding it. So it's like another event that kind of rewards hoarding, another event that if you're not in an alliance that is really heavy into war, then you're kind of out of SOL, right? Like, to me personally, I just don't like events like this. And I think every event should be free to play. I think every event should give you enough resources in order for you to be able to get stuff done. Not maybe casually, but if you're competitive enough, you should feel like you're getting a reward for your time spent. This was kind of not the event that did that. They really encouraged whaling, because only way that I'm going to be able to complete this event and get all the way to milestone 35 is if I spend money to do it. And I'm not going to spend money to be able to complete this milestone. So I'm kind of out of luck where that is concerned. But we are still, like I said, there is JJ's jacket that's there. That's 8,000 points are going to contribute to your A-Force of Nature milestone. which is obviously very important because you want to be able to get the shards and also the other sort of gear that's here. I've said this before. I don't know how well I'm doing in the A Force of Nature milestone. No clue, no idea, because I don't know what the other milestones are going to really reward. We do know that Nico's staff we're supposed to be able to get Nico's staff at some point in time soon. And yeah, so Nico's staff is 10,000 points. JJ's jacket is 8,000 points. So, and we're assuming that with from what we saw in the data mines, that Nico's event is going to be a milestone event as well. So we're also probably assuming that we'll be able to get Nico's staff there, which will be 10,000 points. And I guess based on where I'm at right now, if I get JJ's jacket, I'll be at 23,000 points. And if I get Nico's staff, I'll be at 33,000 points. But how am I going to be able to get the remaining? What is that? I hate math. How am I going to be able to get the remaining 17,000 points in order to be able to complete the milestone, or at least the remaining 12,000 points in order to be able to get the rest of the 30 shards for Spider-Woman? I just don't like that there's so much ambiguity right now with the A Force of Nature event. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't know where you guys are, but that's sort of my thoughts. So prepare to complete the Victory of Blueprint milestones. It's going to be ending here on Wednesday night. We really need some more clarity on A Force of Nature and how we're going to be able to get the remaining emblems, because I don't see it right now how that's going to be possible. It looks like this is going to be all on offer, and the fact that we don't know that yet, very frustrating for me as a player. I'm pretty sure it's probably frustrating for you, so let me know what your guys' thoughts are there. All right, and the next thing I wanted to talk about here was, and just please let me fanboy for a little bit, Rogue is coming to Marvel Strike Force. She is going to be the Famine Horseman. She's going to be a part of the Unlimited X-Men team with Gambit. I mean, would we have it any other way? Those two should always be together on a team. I'm extremely excited about it. Honestly, I'm excited about Gambit as well. Not necessarily excited about the Unlimited X-Men team being a Cosmic Crucible team, but at least from what I can see so far, Gambit and Rogue are characters that most likely can be used outside of Cosmic Crucible, so I'm very excited about that as well. And somebody had mentioned in Twitch chat on Friday night, they were like, I'm just gonna be honest with you, and embarrassingly to admit, but I had a crush. She was one of my first crushes from watching the X-Men cartoons, and I'm embarrassed to admit it. And I'm like, first and foremost, sir, you have no reason to be embarrassed whatsoever, because I'm probably in the same boat as you. I love Rogue. I love the little interaction between her and Gambit. I don't know. I'm very, very, very excited that she's coming to the game here. But her kit is definitely super OP. We're just going to talk about her special ability. I'm sure you guys have seen the rest of the kit as well, but this is just crazy, right? Her special, gloves off, 2 out of 2 energy cost, applying the following negative effects to the primary target: trauma, slow, defense down, offense down, ability block, heal block, disrupted, reducing the speed bar of the primary target by 50%, attacking the primary target for 375% damage. You gain all the following positive effects for 2 turns: safeguard, speed up, taunt, defense up, offense up, immunity. Then she gains 2 evade and 2 death through. She's filling her speed bar by 50%, so she's also getting speed up, right? And then she's filling her speed bar by 50%, so she's gonna be able to do this special ability often. But an Crucible gaining 500% extra focus for this attack, which does make me wonder whether or not it's going to be a little bit of a focus issue, right? So outside of war, I'm wondering how well she's going to be able to land these negative effects. If they're boosting her focus so much in Cosmic Crucible, I'm wondering what that actually may look like on paper. And then of course down here on Cosmic Crucible defense, this attack targets the enemy with the highest damage bar instead of the primary target, ignoring taunt and stealth, which there was some pause here and some concern from some players that were concerned that they're making Cosmic Crucible defense characters now, which to me personally, I wasn't really as impacted by this. And it was really just because of somebody that made a comment and said that they think that the reason why they did this is to make sure that if the AI plays her, that the AI does attack a specific target, that it's just not just a random enemy. So therefore, that's the reason why they did this. Either way, I'm less concerned about this because so much of what else she does is outside of Cosmic Crucible or outside of Cosmic Crucible defense, and I'm not really concerned about that at all. I mean, I can see, just because of the special ability being used alone, right? I could see her being used in Doom, right? In the Doom raids right now to ability block, My gosh, Doom, right, and that boss node, right? I could definitely see her being used there. You also, if you use her as I made a video talking about Doom Raid 2 replacements, where using her with a Gambit, you could definitely tandem that up pretty well with having some ability blocks going out. Remember, also Gambit special ability, whenever he has charge, he also applies ability block as well. And of course, Gambit is also taking this out of turn damage, doing this out of turn damage also. And she is gaining taunt, right? Whenever she does do the special ability. So she's going to be taking in a lot of damage as well. And I think that she's probably going to be relatively tanky just based on that alone. So because she does have the protector tag. So I am pretty excited about her. I think she potentially could be used maybe even as a plug and play character in Arena, because you have this trauma, you have the ability block, maybe being able to land it on Morgan Le Fay. Once again, focus might be an issue. So we'll have to see exactly what that looks like or sort of as we move forward here. And definitely for Dark Dimension 5, right? I think Dark Dimension 5, she's going to be a good play character there too. I think a lot of us are probably going to ask questions now. I'm probably not going to bring in Jubilee anymore, right? I mean, I don't know, like, it depends on what her hero unique is going to be. We don't know if it's going to be osmium. Gambit is osmium. There definitely is a possible chance that they could make her osmium as well. Just kind of curious as to why they made Gambit osmium. Obviously, probably just to make it more of a crunch. That's probably the reason why they did it. I do want to say this as a follow-up to what I said in regards to her being a plug-and-play character in Arena. Because she does gain all these following positive effects, I guess there could be a possibility where she may be really susceptible to a character like Doctor Strange Heartless, right? So maybe for that reason, she could be a liability, but because she is gaining that taunt, that means she's going to be taking on damage. And if you could kind of get somebody to take on some more damage and then negate it from her being it, once again, right? Maybe another Scarlet Witch replacement character, or maybe you take out some other characters. We'll see. We don't want to theory craft it yet, but just thought about that as we sort of kind of move forward here. Something that will impact Rogue though, and you being able to unlock Rogue, that's we're talking about, is this Spider-Woman change, right? So of course, remember that you will need Young Avenger characters, you will need A-Force characters or Inhuman characters in order to be able to go through the higher difficulties in the Pestilence Famine event, not Pestilence Famine, the Famine Scourge event for Rogue, which is going to be in 6.2. Spider-Woman, they made some changes here. So there's currently an issue with Spider-Woman's passive ability, Pheromone Fighter, where it is applying accuracy reduction to characters with offense down to enemies outside of war without 3 A-Force allies. The functionality will be corrected to accurately match the ability description in version 6.2. So for me personally, I was kind of on the notion of the thought where I might actually build up Spider-Woman to use her in the Scourge event, because she is working incorrectly, right? But they made this change now, which kind of negates me wanting to do that, because now she's only going to be working in war. That's only going to be effective in war, and that was going to be kind of one of the things that I was going to use to make her effective in the Scourge event. This also kind of eliminates Nico, right? Because you would need those 3 other A-Force allies to be available in order to be able to use this or get the benefit of this ability when it was working incorrectly. So therefore, the fact that you're going to fix this in 6.2 for me makes me kind of feel like both Spider-Woman and Nico, I'm just probably not going to build them up to be able to use them in the Scourge event. And you might say, why? Like, what are going to be? Why are you making this decision? I don't see Spider-Woman being that impactful outside of war. Nico's kit is extremely RNG, and also I don't even know about the reliability of me being able to get actual good yellow stars on Spider-Woman as well. We already just talked about the A-Force of Nature event. Don't know how well I'm doing. I don't know how many shards I'm going to be able to get, so I just don't feel like it's going to be reliable for me to be able to potentially use her. And they may make shards more available as we get closer towards the event, and that's probably true. But for me personally, I'm just not necessarily feeling it based on what it looks like right now. So I think probably for me, I'm going to go with a 4-person secondary team. My main team is going to be Young Avengers. My secondary team is probably most likely going to be Yo-Yo, Blackbolt, CM, and JJ and CM, who I already have shards for already. They're already at 7 stars. All the other characters I just mentioned are already at 7 stars. And I think I'm only going to need a 4-person team to probably go into that Node 10, maybe kill a couple characters, and then we'll bring in our main team with Young Avengers to be able to take some stuff, to be able to take down the rest of the crew. That's sort of kind of what I'm thinking here. Just this right here alone, this change makes me just kind of feel as if though maybe we probably should move in a different direction or stick with our original plan, and not bringing Spider-Woman or Nico, just based on what my initial thoughts were when we first found out about the Famine Scourge legendary. But those are my thoughts there. I wanted to talk about this next thing. So Jubilee is going to be returning as a legendary character tonight, right? So you're getting your 5 Pimtech characters in order to be able to unlock her. And I kind of just wanted to have this conversation with you guys because I'm curious to where you guys fall with this as well. Like, where does Jubilee stand right now in Marvel Strike Force, right? With the release of Rogue coming, if you're probably not already through Cosmic, then are you holding off? Like, should you hold off on probably bringing in a character like Jubilee? Now, I do know that, of course, as of the game stands right now, she's incredibly important for your Doom raids. And I do even think moving forward, she's probably still going to be important for your Doom raid content as well. The Axeman team is the only mutant team right now that you can use for effectively or efficiently enough in these Doom raids. Although they do kind of struggle a little bit, right? It's very RNG heavy. Bishop is pretty much your only reliable damage. The team is fine with sustain. It's just that they're not doing enough damage to really survive long enough, right? That's really kind of what it comes down to at the end of the day. So I do still think that from a kit perspective, she definitely does provide some solid value. You have the stun and the reduction of speed bar with the ultimate. Of course, I mean, you have her special, which can call other allies. But she really works better with having characters like Beast and Bishop, or at least around her, in order for you to really unlock her full potential. So now with Rogue, who looks a little bit more plug and play, is it probably better to go with a character like that for Dark Dimension 5? And how viable really is Jubilee? The question is still out. I don't have the answers for that yet, because I do think as of right now, you still need her. You still got to invest into her if you're doing Doom 2 raids, at least if you're doing the higher difficulties. And just those are your options, right? You can use Omega Red and Emma in that last boss node to and take out a couple characters there, but you're still leaving Jubilee there. So the question is, like, how viable is she? How viable will she be once Rogue gets released? The jury definitely is still going to be out on that, but congratulations to those who are going to be unlocking Jubilee, because I do still think that that's an accomplishment and that she's still a very usable character right now. So that's definitely something that I want to say congratulations to you guys where that is concerned as well. But yeah, curious to know where your guys' thoughts are on Jubilee. Leave it in the comments. Want to hear from you guys. All right, guys, and one thing that we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks here, right, is character availability cadence, and they did address this in this blog post. And I want to say that overall, this actually was a good statement, right? Character availability cadence: with the shift in 2022 away from releasing new characters through traditional legendary events to the new Scourge events, there arose a necessity to reevaluate and have discussions on when and where shards for newer characters become more widely accessible. In short, these discussions persisted longer than originally intended and caused the newer character shard availability to falter. Yeah, for sure. The dev team is now looking to catch up and is currently making a schedule to increase availability of the following characters in the coming weeks and months. And they listed out the characters here. So Lady Deathstrike, who's already getting in the campaign node, Shang-Chi, Icarus, Cersei, Magic, Ghost Spider, Spider-Punk, and then Star-Lord T'Challa as well. So like I said, overall, I thought it was a good statement. They acknowledged that they messed up here, and that they, to me, like, there are some things that sort of kind of were telling, right? The dev team is now looking into catching up and currently making a schedule. So it kind of looks like they just forgot about this entirely, right? They weren't even paying attention to what they were doing. They kind of just forgot about it entirely and were focusing on other things. I also thought it was interesting that they mentioned here, with 2022 shifting away from releasing new characters through traditional legendary events to the new Scourge event. This is also another telling statement, because with the Scourge legendary events, I was wondering if they were only going to do this for the legendary horsemen. It kind of implies, right, that they said with the shift in 2022, like, it kind of implies that they're probably going to be doing this moving forward, which, by the way, I do think can be good, because there are more players now who are unlocking legendaries on first pass. So therefore, I do think that is actually a good thing. Of course, the leaderboard aspect of it is something that I think that they need to address and change. We're hoping that in 6.2 that the leaderboard situation will be fixed. or they should just go away from leaderboards if they haven't fixed it already, because that's going to definitely cause some frustration for a lot of players as well. But yeah, I mean, and in this statement right here that they mentioned, in short, these discussions persisted longer than originally intended. I don't know why the discussions were so long in the first place, right? I feel like it's, hey, we have XYZ amount of characters that we've released. These are characters that are not farmable yet. Let's make these characters farmable. And I think part of the reason why the discussions lasted longer is because I don't know if there's enough reliable places in Marvel Strike Force for characters to actually be farmable. Now, there's some nodes that have 2 characters, or there's some nodes that probably the characters themselves just don't need to be there because they're very old. Like, why are they even there? There should be other ways to be able to get those characters. So I do think that I'm wondering if there's the reason why these conversations lasted longer is because they just don't have enough places to farm characters, and that definitely is something that they need to look into. That's kind of on them, right? They don't have enough campaign nodes. The stores are questionable at best at times. I mean, there's a lot of RNG there, so maybe they feel like they shouldn't add too many characters to stores, but they've done it before. I just think that there needs to be more reliable ways to be able to get characters. The arena orb is one way I don't think that they should continue to go in. I don't like it. They're going to continue to do it anyways, but those are kind of just my thoughts and feelings towards it. Now, Lady Deathstrike is going to be available. She's first. She's going to be going to a campaign node in Mystic 3.6. That's going to be replacing Loki. And I did hear that there were some earlier players who were definitely frustrated by this, because they are farming Loki right now to be able to unlock Black Bolt, to eventually be able to unlock Ebony Maw, right? That's something that they want to do. And now they're not going to be able to farm Loki anymore because he's going to be in the raid store. So you have to wait on RNG and then spend 1,400 credits, or go the route of opening up raid orbs and then dealing with the RNG there. So that's one thing that I will say, that they mentioned that there's some other characters like Vision that's literally in the Mystic campaign, and I think Vision has 2 nodes, right? I don't think 2 nodes in Mystic campaign, but I think he just has 2 nodes, period. So why is it that you're taking out Loki and not taking out Vision, who has 2 nodes? That doesn't make any sense. So they need to figure this out. They need to do some checks here and see what's available, figure it out, and then sort of kind of move on from there. But I definitely do feel that gripe for, if you're a player that's like, dude, I would like to continue to be able to farm Loki, you're taking him out of the store now and moving Lady Deathstrike. Cool, like, I'm happy to be able to get Lady Deathstrike shards, but what about me still wanting to be able to farm Loki? That's not possible anymore. That's kind of frustrating. So I can definitely feel that as well. But overall, good statement. Some questions about a few things that are there. Silver Surfer, whoa. Were we just forgetting about Silver Surfer completely? I know he's not necessarily top tier meta per se, but man, like, it would be nice to be able to get some shards for Silver Surfer as well, right? That's definitely something that I think that they should look into. He's been a character that's been out for over a year now, and he's not available anywhere other than some orbs maybe. I don't even know. I've had it at 7 stars, so I don't even remember where you can actually get shards from other than spending money. So yeah, those are my thoughts where that is concerned. But wanted to shift gears here and talk about Mojo's Mayhem. This is going to be a big one. So this is a new season that's going to be starting on Friday. And this season's big. This is a big season because you're going to be able to get, yes, teal gear. And yes, of course, the Miss Marvel no normal costume. But you're also going to be able to get some shards for some other characters. So Echo, Kate Bishop, Miss Marvel. These 2 right here are probably the big ones, right? Because these 2 characters are not farmable, and they weren't mentioned in the post about character availability. So I do like that they are making these shards available in the next Mojo Mayhem pass. Now, how much are going to be accessible to you as a free-to-play player? Don't know. We're going to have to see exactly what that looks like. And of course, they're going to be sharing shard slots with Miss Marvel. So maybe that may not feel great. I do think that they probably did that on purpose, right? Obviously, I think they probably should have just went Echo and Kate Bishop and just forget about Miss Marvel. The Miss Marvel costume was enough. That's probably the direction that they should have went in. But I do know that there are probably some players who would still like to get some Miss Marvel shards too. So I don't want to forget about you guys when making this assessment, right? So it's a good, I think it's a good thing. You will need these characters, at least 1 or 2 of them, right? Or all of them for the next Scourge event, depending on how you're going to be piecing things together for yourselves. So I do like that with these characters, their original events weren't that great. So now you're going to be able to get some shards for these characters as well. I think that that's actually a good thing that they're doing. just want to see exactly what the shards look like sort of as we move forward. But yeah, those are my thoughts on pretty much most of the stuff that's going on this week and most of the things that happened last week as well. I wanted to say this. I think this blog was actually really good. There's a lot of really good stuff that's here. I mean, there was a lot of detailed information. They made an apology, right, and talked about the character availability. They also talked about, you know, they gave you a detailed layout of this event here, like the Asian Arts milestone. They gave you a detailed list of, first and foremost, like what exactly you're going to get for every milestone, how many points you're going to be able to get for doing your arena attacks and your blitz attacks. Like, they laid that out. I thought that was really good. They gave, like I said, important character shards like being given out for Echo and Kate Bishop in Mojo's Mayhem. I don't know. I feel like this was actually a really good blog post and probably one of the best ones that they've definitely done in a while. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm curious to see sort of kind of how things progress and move forward here in Marvel Strike Force. Big event this week, I think, or a couple big events coming up, right? Obviously, because we do have the A Force of Nature event. We're probably going to get some information on Nico's event this week so that we can get that Nico staff, right, to get those points for A Force of Nature. But once again, I think that there still needs to be some more information given out in regards to how we're going to be able to complete this A Force of Nature milestone. But listen, appreciate you guys watching the video. Thank you guys so much for being here. Always, you guys are the best. And until next time, guys, y'all be blessed. Y'all be safe. Bye.